Okay, let us start the class. In today's class, we will try to understand the remaining part of Lambda expressions in Python. In the previous day class, previous day means 5-day class, I tried to brief about Lambda expressions in Python. Okay, so before this, just I want to say that these are our very free classes. Okay, these classes will be conducted up to my last breath. I pledged with myself. As I told you that I spent 30 years in the army as a technical engineer, and after whenever I was in the army, that moment I dreamed that to give support to the education. Whenever I was in steep mountains of Kashmir, and whenever I was in desert area of Rajasthan, whenever I was in very poor areas of Bengal and border areas, I felt that so many children, they are from rural areas, and they are suffering with the lack of facilities of education, and there most of the students, they are not aware of the English fluency, like what you know. So those days I felt that whenever I get on retirement, I will give somewhat support to the education. So as I have promised in those 30 years back, so I started to teach the programming classes in Zoom platform especially. Okay, so these classes, I dreamed that to educate, I want to give support to that, especially software engineering, in comparison to all that civil, mechanical, computer. That is what your electrical, electronics, and communication. There is no any much of scope in the job field. Especially the software engineers, they are getting more remuneration. That's why I want to promote the programming. Especially, I want to enhance the programming skills in students. Okay, whether they are studying in, doesn't matter whether they are studying in engineering, non-engineering, BA, become BSc, BCA, even though 10th, 9th, whomever, anybody can join my classes. And simply I want to say that some are in confusion that whether they should have somewhat knowledge to understand the programming languages. Myself, I suggest you that no any programming language you knowledge required for you. If you are ambitious and passionate to understand the classes, you can attend the classes, you can learn. Okay, that is my opinion. Okay, but that is depend upon your interest. As we are very much interested to show interest to see the cricket matches for 5 days, we can concentrate test matches, and we are able to concentrate 4 hours of movie like Avengers Endgame and Bahubali movies. You are showing much interest towards the same. You can show your interest towards the programming. Programming is what one type of it is a practice. You understand the theory, and after that continuous practice, practice, practice. Only three things are there in programming. Okay, so these classes are once I am saying that these classes are very free classes. Okay, weekly thrice, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sharply at 8 p.m. classes will be conducted. These classes will be conducted up to my last breath. And as I told you that if you don't have any laptop, no need to worry about that. We can write the coding in the mobiles. So mobile is very powerful device nowadays. It has high-speed clock 2.6 gigahertz and somewhat RAM 8 GB, 16 GB. Nowadays mobiles are coming. So some apps are there for Java, JB Drive, and Python, PyDrive 3. You download from Google Play Store, and you can write your mobile. You can use for coding. Okay. Thank you. If you have any query, and make a call to me 9110398650. So I will simply you send a message to WhatsApp. You can contact me on there is a Twitter, Facebook, wherever. So the previous classes conducted, whatever, I am keeping all the classes gradually in YouTube. It is a huge repository where you can get lot of videos, and they will be useful to you. And I bless for your bright future and career. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Let us start the class. In today's class, I'm going to explain in Python. In previous day, we have discussed about that what is lambda expression. So today remaining part, In first period, we try to complete remaining part of the lambda expression in Python. In second period, from 8:45 to 9:20, like I will cover same lambda expressions in Java. Okay. So this is VS Code, Visual Studio Code IDE. As I told you that this code, Visual Studio Code, can be used as a IDE for different languages. You can write the coding for use it as for different languages, C#, C, C++, Java, Python, so many languages you can use it. So you click on file, new file, here Python file. Okay. Now see, one untitled Python file is untitled. Open here, untitled one. So whenever you want to compile, whenever you click on, it will ask for keep a name. So now topic is what in Java, Python, hash for commenting. That is what topic is, as I told you, that lambda expressions. Small letters I will write. Lambda expression. Okay. So what is lambda expression? On Friday, I told you that it is a anonymous expression. Anonymous expression means it has no any unnamed expression. Okay. I told you that in the previous Friday class. So it is anonymous expression. Means it has no any name. And the syntax, I told you that how to use it that. Okay. And the syntax is what, as I told you that syntax for, first of all, lambda keyword will be used here. Lambda, then after argument. Okay, argument. I told you that what is argument? Nothing but is a value. Okay, and colon. Next expression. I told you what is the expression, algebraic expression or numeric expression. So as I told you that lambda expression, it takes many arguments as input, but only one expression will be executed. So let us see one example. After that, remaining part will be covered. So lambda, use the lambda keyword. Then after any expression you take, suppose two arguments I am taking, like what suppose a comma y, two arguments I have taken, and then colon. Next expression is what? A plus y. Expression a plus y. Okay, this is expression. So here, this, as I told you that lambda expression, it is anonymous expression. Anonymous means it has no any name. Okay. So now what it does, now print bracket, now call this lambda expression, lambda function. Simply it is called expression, not the suitable word here, function. Okay, lambda function. So in this lambda function, keyword lambda will be used, and arguments are the syntax, then after colon, then use the one expression. So as I told you that it takes many arguments. You can keep one more argument, no issue here. One more argument. You keep one more argument, or anything, you can say number here, argument number, no issue. In place of Z, you can simply keep my name Vasu. There is no issue. These are all arguments, and after that, for these arguments, we need to pass the values. Okay. Okay. Now you call, now this total is called a function. Now if you want to call this function, how can you call? Okay, there is a way. You total store this function in a variable. Suppose a is a variable. Okay, a is equal to, now this total function is assigned to a variable. Now we can call that variable a. Then after you pass that values. You want to do what here? A plus y plus, you want to do somewhat addition here. Expression means Vasu, then plus addition of what? Num. All the arguments you want to you want to add them, all the arguments, addition of all arguments. Okay. Now you pass the values one by one. Suppose addition means addition can be done with the integers, otherwise floats. Okay. Keep any, like what suppose if I want to keep 7, comma. Okay. One more 8, comma. One float number 8.9, comma. Next 10.5. Okay, 10.8. Now how many I have passed? All must be separated with the comma. Okay. Now compile this one. So what will be the result? Let us see. So as I told you that it is untitled, so you need to store in a folder. In my C drive, I am going for, already I have created a file that is VS Code Python, because my ID is VS Code. Under this, I am working over Python language. Click on that, and here untitled one. Keep a file name. Take, this is what today, Lambda, na? Lambda. Last day, Friday also I have kept Lambda expression. Okay. Lambda. Okay. Last day, Friday, capital letter I have kept. Suppose it is small letter. .py. That is very important because our file name, that is Python file extension, is .py. Now, this is what would you like to save in the Krish folder instead? You don't have permission to save in this location. Contact the administrator to obtain why in my folder it's not. So no issue. Another folder it wants to store in another folder. No issue. So now this folder, this file name is lambda.py. Okay. Now come down. Now you compile this. So what is the total value? See here, 29.7. Okay. You clears the screen. CLS clears the screen. One more time you compile this one. Now this is the value 29.7, means addition done. So this is called Lambda previous Friday class. Okay. And within that, how to use many Lambda function, how it can be used in different ways. I have explained in 2 periods. So in today, basic concept I have briefed. Now I'm going to use different uses of Lambda function. Okay. So this is the first, and then today, so Lambda function here, next use of this one, this Lambda function will be used part of a list. Okay. And that list will be iterated. I will explain how the list will be iterated. Okay. First of all, take a list here. So any list, take a variable name. Suppose A is a, otherwise you simply see list is what you can say simply list. Okay. List is equal to a variable. So in Python, list is a data type. It holds collection of items. So the list can hold integers, comma, floats, comma, 10.8, comma, variable, integer, floats, complex, or Boolean values. In Python, Boolean is equal to, so Boolean value true or false. So Boolean value is always represented with the capital letter T. Next, one more value, that is what your string. String is what? String always in Python represented single quotation or double quotation marks. It is a string. I have represented string type of data in single quotation marks. Next, complex number. Complex number, one number part, 2 plus 4j. This is imaginary part. So list will in Java, list represented in square brackets, and list stores different data types. Okay. So now we will use Lambda function to iterate. Iterate means travel through every element, and it will print the list of the elements in vertical or horizontal. Okay, that is the class. Okay, how the Lambda function will be used to iterate. Iterate is a word. See, iterate, I will explain here what is iteration. Iteration, iterate. Because now whenever you go for programming, you will read this iterate, iterate, comma, iteration, iterator. Okay. Means what? Nothing but travel through elements. Travel through elements means values. Okay. Suppose the list has how many elements? These are the elements of the list. Okay. So iteration through means travel through every element. That is called iteration. So let us see. Now our Lambda function, I will use this Lambda function with a function filter function. Okay. What it does the filter function list. So that filter function filters only the odd numbers. But here this is complex number, this is string, this is true, this is float. So you change these as suppose if you see, once I have created the list, see simple print list. If you want to see all the elements of this list, you simply call this variable which is holding these elements. So you compile this one. No, you can get the, where is that? Okay, this is the list. Okay, you are getting the total list values. Okay, print list. Okay, now, okay, your list is printed. Okay, so suppose if this list is holding somewhat values like what you know, as I told you that this is 9, 10, 9, this is one more value 11. Okay, this is one more value 15 and one more value 44. So now I am going to write, I am going to use this Lambda function with another function that is called map filter function to filter only the odd numbers. To filter only the odd numbers. Now let us see how it is possible. Syntax is well, create a variable of odd numbers list. Odd num. Odd num means it is a variable which this odd num means this is a variable which holds, okay, all the odd numbers. So next is what? Syntax. Already it is helping us. Okay, accept list. Then after filter. Filter is a built-in function of, this is a built, see here. Filter is a built-in function of your Python. Okay, and it is it is indicating that you need to get Lambda. Actually, right, it is indicating as Lambda. You need to take Lambda here. No need to type. Then in Lambda, in front of that, so what is the syntax? I told you that for Lambda function, Lambda keyword, then after arguments, n type of argument. It will take n number of arguments. Okay, here just I want to give only one argument, that is what? Anything XYZ you can say. You can take any type of n num, num, XYZ. So one argument, that is what? One variable. Okay. After that, semicolon, colon. Next is what? Here we need to pass the expression. This is the expression, additions, subtraction, division. So some condition, that is called expression. In the previous Friday, I told you that algebraic expression, numeric expression. Okay, this is here. one expression of expression equation. Equation is equal to right hand side, left hand side. Okay, two values are there. So they are separated with is equal to, that is equation. Expression means there is no any is equal to. Now within this is the lambda keyword. I have used one argument. Then I need to pass the expression here. That expression is what our aim is what. Let us let us comment that filter only odd numbers, only odd numbers, odd numbers using of lambda function, lambda the function. Okay, that is the question, how to use the lambda function to filter only the odd numbers within the given list. This is the list. Now by the help of lambda function, we will filter only the odd numbers from this list. So this is the syntax. We need to write this like what, list filter function we will use. It is a built-in function of Python. Okay, after that lambda keyword, one argument num. I told you any xyz you can keep as a parameter. Okay, argument is parameter. Now after that expression here, num divided by num percentage, not divided by percentage here. Y percentage, I want to explain here, is not equal to 0. Is not equal to 0. So what happened here? Try to understand. Try to understand what do you mean of this. So meaning of this, it is the expression I have passed. This expression, what it is stating that num. So whatever the num means, num is a now this number is a variable which iterates through every time through this list. So now number is, first of all, num is equal to 10. Whenever it iterates, first iteration, it travels here through the list. So num is equal to 10. Okay, so num holds a 10 variable, 10 number. So that 10 modulus 2 is equal, modulus operator in Python used to find out the remainder. Okay, after division, whatever the remainder you will get. So suppose num is equal to 10, 10 divided by 2. So if that remainder is not, this operator is not equal to 0. So if remainder is not equal to, if I divide any number with the 2, if remainder is not equal to 0, so then that number will be what? Odd number. If remainder is equal to 0, so if any number is divisible by 2, so that number is called your even number. So our question is what? We want to filter only odd numbers using of lambda function. So how it is done? So I have written this. So then after, you need to do what? This condition I have written. Now it is closed. Now after that, list name, list. Now bracket closed. Next is what? You need to use here. Down, come down. I will explain. So next you now you need to print it. You need to take a print statement. Okay, that is very print after that odd numbers. After that odd number. So next what happened? So if you run this one, what is happening? It is giving error. Error why? Because here you need to understand how many brackets, 1, 2, 3 brackets you have kept. Open brackets. One is open here, one is 2, 3. But you have closed one more bracket you need to kept here. So that is very important. So now let us see what is happening here. Syntax error, invalid syntax. Where is the invalid syntax? You need to understand that it is marking. As a programmer, you need to understand the interpreter, Python interpreter, what it is. It is marking here, see. So it is giving comma error. So in the list, we have kept extra comma. You remove this one. Next, compile this code. So now list object is not callable. Try to understand. As I told you that now you need to be so familiar with the errors of the compiler Java compiler and Python interpreter. So what it is stating that list object is not callable. So list is where this is list. It is, as I told you that in Python and Java, everything is an object. So list is an object, but it is not callable. Callable means what, you know, it is not iterable. Okay, not iterable. So it is giving trouble. You change this list name as somewhat anything. My name keep Y also simple, no issue. You can school, you can say XYZ, you simply say X. Okay. Now you call that odd num. Okay. Now let us see what happened here. Type object is not callable, no issue. CLS clears the screen. You call this one. So type object is not callable. Okay, because you have passed the X here. Okay, but you need to change list. List is okay. Here last line you need to change this one as X because your list name is X is equal. Your list name is equal to X. Okay. Now see, your one more list is generated here. That is called, that list is holding all the odd numbers, all the odd number 9, 11, 15. So what is your list? List is whole X is a list name and it has 10, 9, 11, 15, 54. From that, we need to filter only the odd numbers by using a Lambda function. So initially I told you that how to write the Lambda function, Lambda keyword, then after arguments, these are the parameters, after expression. So same thing I have done here, Lambda num is a variable. This variable holds every time it iterates, every time it goes to the Lambda, this function, this Lambda total function, every time iterate means travels through this list. It goes for first number and this condition, this expression to be satisfied. If it is satisfied, not equal to 0, 10 divided by 2 is not equal to 0. So then that will be stored in this list, another list. This is called one more list, odd number. Okay. So whenever it travels to 10 and divided by 2 and that is what remainder 0. So not equal to 0, condition satisfied. So that number will be stored in odd number, but it is not equal to 0. 10 divided by 2, remainder is 0. So it is filtered. 9 divided by 2, remainder is equal to 1. So this is satisfied. Now, so now is added to this list, odd number list. Okay. So we can simply say that that is comment here. So this is what it takes. This function, filter function, takes filter function. Filter function is a built-in function of Python. So no need to write filter function. You simply put the brackets. Filter pen takes 2 arguments. Takes 2 arguments. What are that arguments? One is that Lambda function. Okay, filter function takes 2 arguments. What are the 2 arguments? There is no any 2 arguments here. It arguments 2 arguments. One is that function. 2 arguments means a function. A function means what? Lambda function. Okay. Next, it takes the list. It takes the list. Okay, and list. So one function, one list. Why? Now this function, it needs to travel through the list. Okay. So this is the list name. So you can simply that moment we use the filter function. This is the default function of Python. to filter whatever the even numbers as per this condition. If I change this as what, now it is what? It is filtering what? It is filtering only even numbers, and new list is created with the odd numbers. If I want to get only even numbers, we need to do simply, we need to change this code as what, you change this condition as is equal to 0. So means if this number is divided by 2, if the remainder is equal to 0, so is equal to 0, that number to be added. So now only you will get what? Even numbers. So you call this now only even numbers you are getting. So only two even numbers are 10 and 44. So you can change the condition like what, whatever, it doesn't matter. So this is one way to use your lambda function in the filter function to filter the even numbers. Okay, now come down here. Next is what? One more way to use it as a. So simply here, I want to say a little bit of, suppose if I want to how to find even given number is even or given number is even or odd. A little bit program we write here. So how to find given number is even or odd in Python. So here I am going to explain you how to write. Simply you write the code like this. Suppose take a variable input function. Normally we will take the user input by the input function. So you write, I told you many functions I have explained about print function, len function, input function in the previous type function. So input function asks the user to feed, okay, enter any number, okay. So you are requesting for the user to feed any number. So what happened that moment? So it prompts the user to feed any number, enter any number. So whatever the number that will be given by the user, that will be stored. You need to store a variable. Take any variable. Suppose var is a variable. So the number, whatever you feed here, that will be stored in this variable. But try to understand that you are dealing with the integers. Okay. So integers, normally the input function, by default, whatever the number you feed, it stores as a string. Okay. So you need to put somewhat, you need to convert that by int type conversion. I have used int function here. Okay. That int function, what it does, your integer will be stored as a string in this var. So after that int function use it converts that into string integer. Now what happened? Now write a simple code. If var means var is equal to, if var modulus, just I have used the modulus here. There is that modulus symbol here, modulus 2 is equal to 0. Okay. After that condition to be terminated with the colon print. Okay. Now here formatted text I am using here, formatted text, given number. Okay. And flower braces. Within this you put the var. Okay. Put the var. Now after that, given number is, okay, even. Okay. Okay. Now else, otherwise, else. Okay. Else, then after colon, come down, take a print. Okay. You copy this total line of code. Okay. and you paste here. Why do I need to waste my time? Because already it has intimated that first period, I think 5 minutes left is within that I need to complete. Otherwise, okay, now this is the format stack. Given number is odd. Okay, odd. So let us see what happens. Little bit of code I have written because just we have discussed about the odd numbers. So that's why which is concerned with that. That's why. So now let us see if a code is running well. Enter any number. Enter any number. It is giving any. So enter any number here. So you enter any number. Suppose if I have entered 78, then what happened? Given number is even. Okay, given number is, you have gotten this given number is even. Given, so you change this as you remove this R. Okay, given number is even. So if I change, if I 199 I have given here to, okay, no issue, 199. So then it gives what? 199. 199, that is to be print f given number is odd. Okay, is equal to 0, given number is even. Else print f given number is odd. This type of statement. I need to get this type of statement. If I print 199, why I'm getting only 199? So that is wrong. So I need to change the code. Where should I go? So first of all, so it is giving the right statement. If where. So as I told you that the number will be stored, enter any number. This is the wrong mistake I have done here. Try to understand that. No any mistake here because the string can be kept in single quotation mark and double quotation, no issue. Single quotation input int, this is okay. If your number is remainder 2 is equal to 0 divided by 2 is equal to 0 means here formatted text, what it does, try to understand that. Simply if I see, simply for this I can write the statement like this: print, okay, print what, single quotation or double quotation mark, given number is even number. Okay, so now given number is even. So what is that number? Every time you change the number as a user input, you change that number. So that number to be dynamically added here. If we follow this formatted text, under the formatted text, under this flower braces, if I pass the variable which stores the whatever the number you pass, so that will be dynamically added here. So if I write this statement, no, so rather than this is better formatted string. Okay. So else print f given number where is add. Okay. If this is okay, this is okay. Print given number is odd number. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting what? Enter a number 178. This is given number even. See, this is by this print statement I have gotten given number is even. But which number? The number to be added by this formatted text. Formatted text is nothing but user customized printout as per the user choice, whatever he desires. Okay, here I am desiring that number to be dynamically, automatically added here, but here it is not happen. So it is okay, it is even number. So if I am passing odd number, so then it is giving error. Let us see. So one more time, if I compile this one, so 179. So then what happened? Now it is okay. Given number 179 is odd. Given one odd number. Okay. So simple program I have written. So one more time, if you compile this one, so 789. Okay, now what happened? 789 is the odd number. So it's a simple program I have written to find out which number is odd or even by simple programming. For that, I have used formatted string. But whenever you write the formatted string, F compulsory started with this quotation mark. Don't keep a place here. So